right, so I want to do a little video just to explain how to do the last piece of your budget because it's a little bit complex, but it's not too bad. I think that once you finish it all, it will make a lot of sense. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have completed your whole checkbook. Make sure that you have all of your dates, you've entered all of your items with all of the expenses entered, and make sure that you have connected all of the categories for your items so that they're all consistent. So I use the setup from the sheet, but I think that it will still work as long as these are consistently spelled. So you can't spell it housing one way and then decide maybe to not include the S. That's going to mess the whole thing up. So the whole thing has to be filled out. Here it is, all the way to the bottom, goes all the way to April 30th. I've entered in my sanity. I actually ended up with some money, which was I was saving. I lived with my parents for the whole year because I wanted to save up and move out into the studio apartment by the end. That was my goal. So I just barely have enough with the deposit that I needed. So here's my whole year's worth of income. So now I want to make a little pivot table with my data here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start at B1, and I'm going to go all the way over to K1 and then all the way down to the last entry. I'm going to click on Insert, and the first thing I'm going to do is click on Table. Let me just click this, maybe zoom in one more or two. I'm going to click on Table up here at the top, and it says, okay, where's the data? It's already highlighted. And then there's a little box that says my table has headers. I'm going to check that box because my table already has headers. And I'm going to choose OK. So it's made my table a little bit more fancy. I'm going to change the color because I just want to. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go with this. So now my table has these fancy little headers. I'm going to go ahead and actually re-highlight everything. And now that I've told it it's a table, I'm going to click on Insert, and I'm going to choose Pivot Table. And I've selected a table already, so I can go ahead. I'm going to use a new worksheet, so it's just going to pop a new sheet in here. Well, it didn't do anything. What the heck? Oh, no, it did do something. On the side, here's a list of all of my data over here. So I kind of have to decide what I want my pivot table to show. So pivot tables are kind of fun. Once you figure them out, at first I was annoyed and I was like, these are dumb. But then I started to kind of play with them and I realized, oh, these are kind of cool. So let's just say I want to use my expenses. I'm going to pop that in my rows. So down here. And then I'm going to use I'm going to pop in, let's see what debit does. Nope, I don't want the count. I maybe want, so this is the value. It's saying, oh, you did college debt 11 times. That's not quite what I want. Why do I have food in there 23 times? So I do know why I did. So I'm going to change the value field settings. I'm going to do like sum maybe. I'm going to change this. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to change this to currency. And so now this is telling me that I spent $1,530.87 on my college debt this year, and then I spent $2,545 on food. So it's kind of broken down for me all of my different options. I don't know what the blank is. That's okay. And then from here, I could actually insert. I could do a little. No, I'm gonna do a little pie chart. Because the pie chart's going to show me what those different little categories, right? Like how they tallied up, so I can tell that I spent the most on transportation, right? That's the biggest piece of my pie. And then I could actually go back to my checkbook, and I could just do another insert, do another pivot table. And maybe this time I want to do my credit and my income. And again, I don't want the count. I want the sum. I want to know how much I made. Oh. I know why. I reversed these. Income, credit, gifts, and income. I'm going to switch this to sum. I'm going to be like, okay, now let's look at the currency. So I know that I made $12,222.78 that year. So again, I can make a little pie chart. I don't like the colors, but I can change the colors. I can go here, and I can be like, I want, ooh, these are all rough colors. Okay, I'll do this. I can change the colors to whatever I'd like to kind of show like, okay, this is what I did, right? I can add some little labels on there if I want, but I can represent that data so I can kind of see like, oh, okay, this is what I did, right? So that's what a pivot table does. It allows you to kind of look at your information and kind of shift it around and kind of play with different pieces of data, and you can kind of shift around. Like you could filter by date, and then maybe also by expense. You want to know how much this nope, not the credit. I want to remove that one. I'll put this one in here, but I want the value, I want the sum, and then I want just this month. And then it's saying, well, this, which one do you want? And it's giving me some options here. I don't want the blank. So you can kind of like play with some of the different little options in there. But the two that are kind of the most interesting, or the going to give you the best information, are the two about your income and your expenses. So that's how you do those two pieces with the pivot table. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And happy pivot table making.